Hello everyone, welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This is for the one that took place last night at the UFC Apex Center, and it was an undercard fight, well, to be more specific, the main prelims, between Vinicius Oliveira and Benardo Sopaj, and I'm going to go through all three rounds as the action happens, because we did get all three rounds, we just didn't quite finish all three rounds, and I'll get to what I mean by that when we get to that point. We begin with round one, and Vin, and I'm going to call Vinicius Oliveira Vin just because it saves a bit of time, goes for some leg kicks to feel things out, and him and Sopaj trade with him before Sopaj goes up high and lands a really solid punch. He also eats a punch in a scramble, and Vin lands a body kick before throwing another one, only for Sopaj to catch it and land some hooks. Vin lands a really hard leg kick and some punches against the cage before Sopaj takes the centre back with some really good punches of his own, but he keeps eating leg kicks. He does catch a kick from Vinicius and does go for an overhand before Vin goes for a spinning back kick, only for Sopaj to take him down. Vin tries to go for a heel hook, which Sopaj escapes, and Sopaj lands some good punches from on top as well, staying in full guard and hitting Vin with some really nasty elbows. Sopaj evades an armbar and both men stand back up, and Sopaj presses Vin against the cage, landing some really good punches and a nice head kick. Vin lands another low kick of his own, even getting a high one off which Sopaj blocks well eventually, before he gets into the takedown. Sopaj instantly gets him out and throws some really good shots before Vin hip escapes and gets full guard, tying Sopaj up and trying to slow the pace, while also landing some solid elbows from underneath before Sopaj gets a couple of late punches off before the round ends. And pretty solid round, pretty interesting back and forth. I will say Vin did a really good job trying to control the range with his kicks, and he did start to accumulate the damage with the leg kicks, but I give round one to Sopaj. I just think he was a lot better. His takedowns helped a lot. He got two really big takedowns, and he was just landing the much cleaner counters as well. His punch counters were really good, even though he wasn't countering the kick, the leg kick, or checking the leg kick. He was landing some really good stuff, and he was putting the pressure on. And again, the takedowns are really big helps, and the ground work he did too. I don't think he went for any submissions in round one, but, you know, good ground striking and a really solid performance. Again, fairly even, but it does go to Sopaj for me. We then get to round two. Sopaj instantly goes for a clinch and tries for a takedown, which Vin defends at first, but Sopaj turns it into a takedown against the cage and takes the back mount, going for big punches and some really good solid rear naked choke attempts. Sopaj flattens Vin out and pours on a lot of punches, even getting Vin into the back mount while still swinging at him. Vin plants his feet on the fence to try and kick away and escape, but Sopaj stays on him in full mount, taking the back mount again when Vin tries to get up again and resuming with some big hooks. Sopaj goes for a takedown as Vin eventually does manage to get up, with Sopaj still on Vin's back, but Vin brilliantly separates the hands from the choke and jumps on Sopaj when he takes him down, raining down some big punches and getting into side control, grinding Sopaj against the cage as he keeps hitting him with some really big shots. He eventually gets a back mount and Sopaj tries to escape, but Vin drags him back down and gets into a stacked guard, throwing some heavy punches from that guard. He throws the legs to the side and goes to side control for an arm triangle attempt, but Sopaj escapes. However, Vin keeps throwing the punches and elbows down. Sopaj gets up eventually, but he's caught in a waist lock, which leads to a nasty head kick from behind, but Vin eats some side less from Sopaj before Sopaj tries to take Vin down, only to be pushed away, eating another big head kick and a body punch before the round ends. And good God, like, the heart that Vin was showing, I'm giving round two to Oliveira, because, like, it was very close in a lot of places, but I, like, the first half of the round does probably go to Sopaj, but when Vin was able to get up and separate the hands and start pouring the shit on and land his punches a lot more and land his kicks a lot better, he was doing such a good job. And I think that's part of why Sopaj went for the takedown, because I think he was sort of weak in the legs from round one, because he didn't have a lot of leg kicks. But he still won round one to Sopaj. But yeah, I give round two to Vin. He fucking showed up. He showed a lot of heart about the halfway point and started to really land some big shit. We then get to the third and final round, where the two start with a really good old glove touch before Vin goes back to the leg kicks and body kicks. Sopaj lands a straight left, but Vin goes for some swinging hooks against the cage before they go back to the center. Vin goes for more leg kicks and he backs Sopaj with some solid punch combos and really good kicks as well, using the front kick to keep Sopaj against the cage, which is really smart. Vin again just lands some really great leg kicks and punches, connecting with pretty much everything he throws, and Sopaj's not really getting many looks in. Vin keeps landing his boxing combos, backing Sopaj up against the cage with some really good body kicks too, and he keeps up with his strategy, especially with his left hook firing. Vin really starts finding the range and the confidence to keep popping it off. Vin goes for a takedown, which Sopaj escapes, and he does put together a decent punch or two before Vin lands in this order, a leg kick, a left hook, and a nasty ass flying knee against the cage with just 19 seconds left in the fight, getting the knockout with it. And yeah, Vin wins via knockout at 4 minutes 41 seconds of the third and final round, so now we've got to talk about it. So this is going to sound a bit weird. I think this might be my favourite fight of 2024 so far, and it happened in the fucking Apex. I will admit, like, the first 2 rounds are really, really good and close and competitive. I think the third round does suffer because it does feel a bit like Vin's kind of playing with his food in some at some points, but he just doesn't look like he's losing. I think if the fight had gone the distance by that point, I would give it a split decision to Vin. You know, I think he did enough to win round 2. He was definitely winning round 3 until he landed that flying knee that ended the fight, so he won by knockout anyway. But still, you know, like, Sopaj tanked a lot of damage, and he wasn't backing down. He just looks like he just didn't want to be in there by the halfway point of round 3. But a really, really good fight, and probably my favourite fight of the year so far. And it's not even the fact that it was in the Apex that ruins it for me, because I think the lack of crowd helped. I just think it was the fact that the third round felt a bit slow, which is weird because it was the shortest round of the 3. But yeah, it just really felt like Vin he did not look like he was losing at all by the time round 3 rolled around. And again, it felt like a bit of setup. He was looking for that big shot, and he did eventually get it. I just wish a bit more happened to make round 3 a bit more even, but no complaints about the win. Really solid performance from both men, and yeah, just good shit. That'll about do it from me, though. I recommend you go find this fight out for yourself, because it was proper good. As to what's next from me, the next thing might be, I don't know, it might be a top 10 list, because I've been wanting to do a top 10 list for a while. Or it just could be Music of the Week episode on Thursday. That's probably the most likely thing. But the next big thing is gonna be Friday. Oh, Friday, War of Attrition. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And I'll see you all for that. As well as a reaction on the same day to the new Set It Off song. So yeah, I'm gonna see you for those things. And if there is anything else that comes in the week, you know, it'll be a nice surprise, because I'm not gonna tell you, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it done. But yeah, go find this fight. It was proper good. I'll see you all on Thursday at the latest, I would say. Friday, well, Thursday at the earliest, Friday at the latest, but we'll see what else happens. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.